Have you noticed feeling less energetic or weaker in the days leading up to your period? Or have you ever heard others mention experiencing this? The luteal phase of the menstrual cycle happens after ovulation and before menstruation. During this phase, many women experience a temporary decrease in physical performance and strength. As progesterone becomes the dominant hormone while estrogen levels drop, it might lead to PMS and bring about symptoms like weakened strength and fatigue, higher protein catabolism, mood swings and bloating, as well as increased basal metabolic rate and appetite. Therefore, we present a nutrition plan tailored to the luteal phase's unique metabolic needs, designed to support the athletic performance of females during hormonal changes.
When making this nutritious meal plan, you need to think about what nutrition or food substance you should aim for. The meal plan should be focusing on several key components, for instance, leafy greens packed with minerals like magnesium, iron, and calcium, lean protein for muscle repair, and healthy fats for energy and nutrition absorption. Complex carbohydrates for energy and to stabilize blood sugar level. Last but not least, vitamins that will help manage symptoms like PMS symptoms, fatigue, and cramps. Now here is an overview of a weekly meal plan designed by us that you can follow or as a reference. The portion or size of the meal can be subject to change based on the female athlete's weight and height or even based on the sports that they are playing. Now don't forget about snacks. High protein snacks are crucial after exercise since adequate protein intake can support overall performance by maintaining muscle mass. Greek yogurt, edamame, hard-boiled eggs, and cottage cheese are great high-protein options that have around 10 to 13 grams of protein per 100 grams of food. Always remember staying hydrated is critical for overall wellness and health. So remember to drink plenty of water and replenish electrolytes, especially after intensive workouts, since they help maintain osmotic balance and glycogen resynthesis in our body.
There are three essential minerals for females to keep energetic in their luteal phase: calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Calcium ions are crucial for muscle contraction. When a muscle is stimulated by a nerve signal, calcium is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum into the muscle fibers. Calcium binds to a protein called troponin. When it is activated, it moves tropomyosin away from the actin filaments, allowing myosin heads to bind an initial contraction. Magnesium is a cofactor for over 300 enzymatic reactions, including those involved in the ATP synthesis pathway. Magnesium stabilizes ATP molecules. Moreover, potassium is the primary intracellular cation. It helps regulate fluid balance and osmotic pressure within cells. Also, vitamin D binds to vitamin D receptors in the intestines, promoting the expression of calcium-binding proteins. This increases calcium absorption from the guts into the bloodstream. Vitamin D interacts with sex hormones, particularly estrogen, which can improve mood, energy levels, and overall physiological responses during the luteal phase.
So moving on to carbohydrates, let me first explain the PI3-AKT pathway. After consuming a meal, insulin is stimulated and binds to tyrosine kinase receptors. It then leads to recruitment of PI3K that is used for converting PIP2 to PIP3. PIP3 then recruit AKT. AKT is then phosphorylated and activated by PTK1 and mTORC2. AKT then phosphorylates and activates AS160 that involves in translocation of GLUT4 vesicle to plasma membrane, which allows glucose uptake from the bloodstream into cells. However, progesterone level rise during the luteal phase, which leads to a decrease in insulin sensitivity. The PI3K-AKT pathway becomes inefficient and hence less glucose is taken on by cell, so the blood glucose level will then remain elevated for longer after meals. In this situation, complex carbohydrates should be consumed because it has a lower glycemic index, meaning they release glucose into the bloodstream more gradually. It controls the insulin response and hence minimizing the stress on pathway and providing steady cellular glucose uptake. So complex carbohydrate ensures steady supply of glucose to cell, providing a consistent energy supply for muscle contraction. It also prevents further prevention of fatigue and irritability.
The protein catabolism increase in luteal phase is due to the induction regulation by increased progesterone and the metabolic shift.
In the mechanism, progesterone will bind to the receptor, which will increase the cyclic ALP and then activate pKa. Activate pKa with phosphorate CREB. This allows CREB to bind to CRE, which activates the transcription and increase the synthesis of the BCK.
PEPCK catalyzes the conversion of the oxaloacetate to phosphoenolpyruvate. This reaction requires precursor like pyruvate from amino acid, particularly alanine. This increases the need of amino acid and driving the protein catabolism in skeletal muscles. Progesterone also promotes fat oxidation and also reduce insulin sensitivities. If the energy demand is high, the body will break down proteins for fuel. Dietary protein can help mitigate this catabolic effect. by providing amino acid directly, which can reduce the need for the body to break down muscle tissues. This prevents lean muscle loss, therefore allow women athletes to maintain strength and endurance. Intaking protein after exercise can also enhance muscle protein synthesis due to the activation of mTOR pathway, therefore supporting the muscle repair and the recovery.
Dietary fat that contains both saturated and unsaturated fatty acids, particularly the omega-3 fatty acids, is important to improve women's performance during the menstrual cycle by providing energy and reducing inflammation. During the luteal phase, estrogen levels remain high. The high estrogen level then activates the AMPK by phosphorylation. The active form of AMPK inhibits the action of ACC. The carboxylation of acetyl-CoA to form malonyl-CoA is therefore limited. As malonyl-CoA is a major inhibitor of the CPT1, which is responsible for the transportation of fatty acids, the reduction of malonyl-CoA then causes an increased rate of lipid oxidation, together with a lower rate of glycolysis. Due to the preference for fat over carbohydrates for fuel and increased energy expenditure during the luteal phase, plenty of healthy fats could replenish the loss of fat used for ATP and energy production during exercise. The uptake of polyunsaturated omega-3 fatty acids, such as EPA and DHA, could also reduce inflammation during the menstrual cycle. Omega-3 and omega-6 pulvers are involved in the inflammatory process, but with opposite roles. As the two pulvers share the same set of enzymes for their metabolism, they are in a competitive relationship. The increased intake of omega-3 pulvers could exert anti-inflammatory properties by competing with omega-6 pulvers and displacing ARA in the membrane phospholipids, and therefore decrease the production of alkaloids that are mediators of inflammation.
In conclusion, to optimize sports performance during the luteal phase, the diet should focus on 3 goals. First of all, increase protein and anti-inflammatory foods to maintain muscle mass and promote repair. Higher fat intake as well as additional calories and nutrient-dense foods aid the body's preference for fat oxidation, providing steady energy for combating fatigue. Sufficient calcium and vitamin D to reduce the risk of stress fractures, while magnesium, potassium, and complex carbs stabilize blood sugar, which could improve mental clarity. By tailoring nutrition to the luteal phase, a female can overcome the challenges posed by hormonal changes and maximize their athletic potential.